As an executive director, you have probably heard of the term end of year campaign. And maybe you know exactly what that is. Maybe you've done one before, or maybe you're like, I don't know. I know that I'm supposed to ask donors at the end of the year to give me money. So I kind of do that. But I don't really know what an end of year campaign is. Maybe you're just overwhelmed at being able to develop an end of year campaign. You don't really know what to do. Maybe you don't have the resources and the staffing to do all the marketing that you think it takes to do an end of year campaign. And maybe you realize, Giving Tuesday was just last week or November 30th and we missed out on that. Maybe you think it's too late to do an end of year campaign because the weeks are just ticking by. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that complex. We can break this down for you and develop an end of year campaign real quick to not only get some dollars in the bank for you and your nonprofit, but to also help people know all the amazing stuff that you're doing, everything that you're working on, and the value of your services. So I'm going to help you do that today. Let's talk about it. Welcome to episode 5 of the Harvesting Results Show, where I help you help others by giving you advice, resources, and tools so that you can nurture your roots in order to harvest the fruits of all the hard work and dedication that you're putting into your cause. I am Rebecca Britt, your host, and today we are talking about end of year campaigns. I know we're in December. It's crazy. If you don't have one yet, you might feel completely overwhelmed, and maybe you've thrown a couple posts up on social media, donate today, but you don't really know how to think through a theme, and you don't really feel real great about your campaign. But we can do this today for you and get a solid campaign out the door and hopefully get some dollars in your bank account. Before we get started, if you're interested in learning about the top 3 mistakes that nonprofit startups make, go over to www.catulo.com/startup and you can check out that free master's class. It is my gift to you, and it's the mistakes that I made as well. So hopefully you won't make those mistakes. Grab that master's class, catulo.com/startup. So end of year campaigns. November 30th happened. It was Giving Tuesday. Hopefully you participated. If not, put it in your calendar for next year, Giving Tuesday, to make sure that you are a part of that. Because the only way that you fail on a Giving Tuesday is by not asking people to give to your cause on Giving Tuesday. I'm going to give you some quick tips so that you can develop your end of year campaign real quick. The first thing that you want to do is come up with a goal. So whatever makes sense for you in your budget and your community, you might want to put $2,500, $5,000, $10,000. If you are going up and doing $20,000, $25,000, you probably already have a good idea on your end of year campaign and you have a good community. Now, I will say that these tips are kind of contingent on you already having a community, somebody that you can pitch to. You need an email list that you are sending these asks out to. And if you don't already, make sure that you are building your Facebook likes, your social media presence, and capturing those emails in some way on your website. Anyone that comes to your services or comes to you or is remotely interested in your cause, you really want to be capturing their email, because email list is going to be the way that you're going to market your program and get donations. It's a really impactful thing. It's your most valuable asset, your email list. And this is also going to help you articulate why you are so important in this space. It's your channel of conversation to your donors. So set your goal. So whatever that is, $2,500, $1,000, it doesn't have to be that much. It doesn't really matter what the goal is, but make sure that you set it. Use your end of year campaign to tell people about your products and services. Maybe you have one service, one program that is like your star program. Break that down for people. You live, sleep, and eat your program, right? And you get why it's so important. But there's so much nuance that goes into the day-to-day of that, and so many little rewarding gems that you see happening with your community that other people don't get to see. So really take this time to break down the value of your service to your community. With the Stable Moments model, I do this just by saying, do you know that from the time that kids walk in the door, they do an intake assessment. This helps us know their history. Then they get an individualized plan of care. This makes sure that their treatment is unique to their needs. Then they get matched up with a mentor. This is why mentorship is important. We have color-coded activities. This is how these activities develop life skills. I just take it as a time. It's all in my head, right? I already know about my program, but I just break it down into bite-sized pieces and feed it to them, and then I interweave an ask into those emails. You're going to want to make 5 to 10 emails. If you send out 2 a week, you can do 10 emails throughout the rest of the year. And you can literally open a Google Doc right now and just start writing your emails. So think of breaking down your programs into bite-sized pieces and just telling them a little bit about it. It's not, look at everything we've done. This is what we do. Please give today. We're asking for donations. Do not use the words end of year in your end of year campaign. Hey, we're doing our end of year campaign. Consider giving for your end of year. Nobody cares. Tell them about you and what you're doing, and then weave in the ask. So think about your program and just bullet out what are some bite-sized pieces of the program, because nobody wants to read more than a paragraph or 2. So each email is just going to be a paragraph or 2. Use bullets, use bolding to kind of shout out things that are really important, because we know nobody has real time to read through a bunch of stuff. That's the first tip. We're going to do emails. Don't use the words end of year campaign. We're going to tell them about your programs. We're going to interweave the ask. Make all of the emails and posts about them. So for each email, you're also going to do a social post. So throw up a graphic. I don't care if it's just a picture of you doing your work. Have it go along with the email, and out of that email, just take a sentence or 2 and pull that out. That's going to be your social post. You're going to put that on your social media platforms, and you're going to have the link, okay? So don't have any of these posts without some type of call to action. You're going to want, donate today. If it's scholarships for programs, if it's a certain amount of bags of dog food or whatever it is, let them know exactly what their donation is getting them, but just interweave that at the end of each of these little information emails of what you're doing to really impact change in your community. You're going to just throw in there, it's because of you. So make it about them. It's because of generous supporters like you. It's because people that care about this cause like we know you do, that we are able to deliver these services, and then ask them to donate today with a nice big button, okay? You're gonna send out these emails twice a week, because we're getting to the end of the year and we probably need to step up the volume of emails, but really use it as a time to hey, you know what? Not everybody knows what we're doing here. We're gonna let them know, because we know that they care about this cause, right? They're on our email list. So you kind of owe it to them to tell them what you've been up to, what you've been doing, and what you plan to do in 2022 with their donations. What I suggest as well is so you have your first email that just says hey, make them all conversational. Dead is the newsletter with the banner at the top that says newsletter from this nonprofit, and then it's meet our CEO and look at what we did with the blocks and the whole newsletter format. Make these super conversational. Hey friend, a lot of people think that we do X, Y, and Z, but actually what we found is this is the magic of our program. We were able to serve X many kids today. Or tell them about the problem in your specific county. So did you realize that there were X number of kids without proper nutrition or without permanent housing living in our community? You can help today. So inform them about the cause, tell them about the problem, tell them why you're the solution, just real conversationally like you're writing to a friend. You can interweave one picture if you want that's helpful, and then a donate button. Now, when you get to email 3, you will have wanted to say, in the first email or the second email, we are raising $5,000. So specifically say your goal. We are raising $5,000 for our end of year campaign, or for the end of this year. So we hope to reach that goal by December 30th. Everything, helps. Please consider giving today, after you've given them a little bit about what you do and what's valuable. Then the second email can just be a little bit more about what you do, and it can be an ask. The third or the fourth email should just be an update. So don't even ask them to donate. Just say, hey, I wanted to let you know that we are a week in or 2 weeks in to our campaign. We hope that you are enjoying the information about our program. We have already raised $2,000 of our $2,500, which means we only need $500 more. This is the impact we're seeing in our community. Thank you so much for supporting us. Send the email. No ask. People are going to get sick of an ask and ask and ask and ask, and you owe it to them to kind of update them on the goals. Do just an update, okay? And that goes for the whole rest of the year. I got a thing in the mail, a letter in the mail that was like a graphic snapshot of what an org had done for the year. And there was a letter with it, which I didn't read because nobody reads letters. Like, nobody wants to read through that crap, okay? It's a lot. Even if it's amazing, meaningful work that they're doing. I really cared about this organization. I still did not take time to read their letter. But they sent me a snapshot, like a graphic, cool little infographic about all the things that they've done. So that was easy for me to read through. And I was like, okay, this is actually really cool. They've given out so much. They've like achieved all of their goals for the years. They've done a lot for foster kids in our community. So after I read the graphic and was really like, this is awesome, I went back and was like, I wonder what they're asking for. Went back to the letter, read through the letter. Guess what? They weren't asking for anything. They said, hey, Rebecca, we just wanted to give you an update as one of our donors. We wanted to make sure that you knew what we did with your money. I was like, that is awesome. And guess what I did? Without an ask in the letter, I went on their website and I gave them another $250 because I felt like I could trust them with my money. One, they showed me what they did with the money, but two, they showed me that they cared about updating me without asking me for more. So really think about that. This is a relationship. This isn't, hey, give, and I don't even care about you. This is like a partnership. Hey, Fred, so happy to reach out to you. Hope you're doing well. This is what we've been doing. This is why our program's so unique. These are the stories that have come out of our program. So that's another point. I want you to use stories. So even in the first and the third and the fourth and the fifth, every email, not every email, you can just do like why your program is valuable. But in some of the emails, make sure that you're saying just a story. And it doesn't need to be specifically about a person or kid because you want to respect people's privacy, right? So you're not telling a particular client's story, but you know your clients. So make one up in your head that is a compilation of several of your clients. And just say, when Jeremiah first came to our program, he was X, Y, and Z. And through our services, we saw this develop. It was amazing. Now Jeremiah is fully employed and blah, 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 blah. Show the transformation, and you can do a stock photo of a person. You can, and if you go to unsplash.com, I'll link that in the show notes, but unsplash.com is free stock photos. Do a random picture of a stock photo of a person that looks like they're engaging in your services. Call the person a fictitious name. And the story, though, is reflective of those you serve, right? That's just how we're doing it in a way that's ethical. And we're not sharing people's actual details. Okay, so interweave stories. And then you should have it, just like with each of those bullets of what your program offers, a few stories that you can think of in your head. Just think of the clients you serve. What's the amazing things you do? Tell people about that. It's a paragraph or two each email. You're going to say what your goal is. You're going to update them on how close you're getting to your goal. With each email, you're going to do a social post. You can write them all out right now. Even if it's 4, just do 4. It's fine. You need to do something. Open that Google Doc, write it out right now, schedule it. You can go into your email platform, whatever you use, if you're using MailChimp or Constant Contact or Wix or whatever your email platform is, just go in and schedule all the emails out. Go into your Facebook, your social medias, schedule those out, and then you're done. You've got your end of year campaign, and you can see how that's going. Now, of course, you do need to have ways to get people to donate. PayPal has a great, donate button. If your organization doesn't have a PayPal yet, then that's something that you're going to want to set up. Like I said, this is for people that at least have a way to collect donations, and they at least have some type of email list. If you don't have those things, then you can use the end of the year to start setting those up, making sure that you have your email list, some way to capture them, that you're using some free service to capture email addresses, and make capturing email your number one priority. Anybody that comes to your facility or anybody that reaches out to you or gets services or anybody that's connected to that, just start building that email list. That is going to be very valuable for you. I hope you feel a little better equipped to develop an end of year campaign today. It doesn't have to be difficult. Write conversational emails. Tell people about what you're doing. Start building a relationship. Have it come from the heart. And also, you don't need to be super buttoned up. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, we did all these amazing things. Like, if you just did one or two cool things because you're just starting out, let people know about the need. If you really weren't able to do much because of COVID or because you're just starting out and you have no money, let people know. Say, this is our vision, but we can't do it without you. Okay? Because I see a lot of nonprofits try to be super buttoned up and they try to like pretend that everything's perfect. But then people don't have any reason to give because it sounds like you're doing fine without us. So make sure you're demonstrating that need. People want to know how they can help and how they can be a part of it. And if you have everything figured out without them, then you're not helping them join in the cause. And join along with you and make that impact. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, if you're just starting out, if you want to know about the top 3 mistakes that every startup makes or most startups make, go to catulo.com/startup, grab that free resource. It's my gift to you. And I would love to hear in the comments how you're doing your end of year campaign. If this was helpful, if you have any tips or tricks for people, let me know. I'm always about learning, and I know the rest of the community would love to hear from it as well. All right, guys, I hope you set those emails on fire and you get some donations in your bank. And thank you so much for your service to this world. See you next time.